Ladies and gentlemen, there is some news that came out of Ukraine, and they are admitting they are completely outgunned by the Russians. This is one of the pictures that are coming out from Donbass, the east part of Ukraine, and they cannot keep the Russians at bay. And I don't believe they ever could. Ladies and gentlemen, this is more proof that the American media has been lying all along. Now, I remember in the beginning of the war, they admitted they didn't have enough military equipment to even be fighting the war. And see, that's when the US and other countries have been sending aid to them. And y'all, let's be real. The United States funded this war. They did. They funded this war. Look at the amounts of money they were sending over to Ukraine. Now, I know some of y'all, not my problem. Actually, it is our problem. America has been taking taxpayer money from the Black community forever now. You have been usurping our funds. You've been fixing up everybody else's community, and our communities don't get fixed up. You have been using the funds to pay teachers and cops, and we get lousy service from both of those institutions. And then to add insult to injury, you have taken our hard earned money and sent it over to Ukraine, and they have lost everything. But you're in the media talking about they're winning, they're winning. I don't believe they were ever winning. I believe the US media has been the cheerleader for them because they hate Russia. And that's what their bias is all about. They hate Russia, so they all jump behind Ukraine. Well, that's not a good enough reason to lie to the people. That's not a good enough reason. See, it's a good enough reason for them because they got that high school brain of when they report things, just like when they report on these cops. When anything happens to a Black man, woman, or child, they always jump on the cops' side because they hate us. Now that the cops have showed they are not out here doing their jobs, now they want to be all over the cops. You know, you're so disingenuous. It's not even funny. And that's really the end. Okay. So what those cops did down there in Uvalde, y'all gonna get up and talk all that back the blue? No, see, you want to get up in Black folks' face with that mess. I dare you to get up and scream back the blue now. Y'all full of shit. And this is why your leadership is completely poor. So let's get back to the Ukrainians. They're now admitting they are badly outgunned and they are losing Donbass, really bad. And some of the fighters are saying they feel abandoned. So I'm going to go ahead and play this audio from NPR. The war in Ukraine is now centered in the eastern Donbas region. The U.S. says Russia's offensive there is making incremental gains. Although on Friday, Russian forces appear to have taken control of a strategic town called Liman. NPR's Ryan Lucas is in Donbas and brings us this report on the war. On a recent afternoon, a battered bus pulls to a halt outside a Ukrainian military hospital here in Donbas. One after another, wounded soldiers hobble out, more than 40 of them in all. There are men with leg wounds, head wounds. Nurses rush out with wheelchairs. One man struggling to walk limps over to a tree and throws up. Inside, a nurse reads out names of the men to assign them rooms, while we head upstairs. We are walking through the halls of the military hospital now. These beds are full. They are full of wounded soldiers. In a room at the end of the hallway, we meet a senior military surgeon. His graying hair is cut short.
He puts a cigarette down to shake our hands. We agree not to use his name or say where this hospital is located because Russia has bombed medical facilities already in this war. This is a military hospital, but it treats civilians as well. And he says on an average day, doctors here operate on around 100 patients, three-quarters of them soldiers. He says they have enough staff, but the pace of work is grueling. That's why I look tired, he says. We've been at war for 3 months, but I'm ready and willing to be tired for as long as necessary in order to win. The Donbass is an agricultural and industrial region of vast rolling farmlands, dotted with giant slag heaps from coal mines. And this area has been at war since 2014. That's when separatists, backed by Russia, declared breakaway republics. Now, though, Russia is slowly gaining ground here. And the further east we go toward the front lines, the fewer civilians we see. Towns are largely empty. Traffic on the roads becomes almost exclusively Ukrainian military. On a recent drive to the town of Bakhmut, we passed around 30 tanks and armored personnel carriers, all heading toward the front. There were some heading in the opposite direction as well. Yeah, that's an armored personnel carrier that they're pulling back. Damaged in the fighting. The geography of Donbass makes the war here an artillery battle. Ukrainian soldiers say right now they are outgunned. On a Bakhmut street bustling with military, we meet Sergei Shakun. He's the head of the civil military administration in Luhansk. He's been fighting on the front lines. He says Russia has a significant advantage in heavy weapons and is using it. And that means, he says, Ukraine needs more heavy weapons of its own. The U.S. and European allies are trying to help with that. The Biden administration has sent Ukraine around 100 howitzers, heavy guns with a greater reach. And Shakun says those are helping. But the numbers are limited. And the Russians, he says, are going after them. The Russians are hunting those down, he says. As soon as the howitzers fire, they have to relocate so they don't get hit themselves. But some have been hit, he says, at least 5 so far. Ukraine's military is having other issues as well. A group of young soldiers pulls us aside. They are deeply frustrated. They say they had only 2 weeks of training before being sent here to fight. They have outdated weapons, and at the front, they are under constant Russian bombardment. The Russians, one soldier says, hit us with cluster bombs, then grad rockets and artillery. He then adds with a hint of dark humor, they give us a cigarette break for a minute before it starts all over again. Some of these men say they spent days at the front and never shot their weapons. What good is a rifle against long-range artillery, they ask. We want to fight, one soldier says, if we're given good equipment and we have artillery and good battlefield tactics that work. It is a grinding war here in the Donbass, and the challenges for Ukraine are great. Even so, the will to fight remains. Ryan Lucas, NPR News, Bakhmut, Ukraine.
All right, y'all. So you heard that, right? You know, the only thing I can think of through this whole thing is our reparations. You gave this country that had no chance of winning our reparations money. That's what you did. And now they're badly outgunned. The US media barely want to tell you that the equipment is being intercepted by the Russians, and you're not getting any good information unless you go to a foreign source to hear about this war. If you listen to American media, that's why I got rid of some of the things, these folks that aren't really subscribers, right? Because they repeat verbatim everything the America media say. The American media is never going to tell you the truth. Okay? They're only admitting some of the truth now because they don't have a choice. So much about them losing is coming out, ladies and gentlemen. They can't deny it. Donbass is being lost, just like Mariupol. The Russians is going to take that whole area. And America have sent so much over there. They sent so much over there. And they didn't just become outgunned 90 days later. They were outgunned from day one. But this media did not want to admit it because this is the people they favor. See, this is why it's not good to listen to these folks, and you need to go and find the information yourself. They are too biased to give you decent information. And that is the truth. They are way too biased to tell you the truth. If it don't go their way, they're going to fake like it did go their way. I mean, we don't need this. Okay? And the black community has we have also poured our money into this war. This government didn't just give away government money, they gave away money that you paid into. And on that alone, because we pay taxes and we get very poor to no service, you owe us reparation just based on the taxes. You didn't give us what we paid for. So, ladies and gentlemen, please tell me what you think. This is really a disgrace. And again, the US financed this war, y'all. Look at what they financed. And the bottom line, we don't even have any say on the money that we have paid for a long time into this place, into this economy. And as soon as we say reparations, they want to ignore us. But it's okay to spend your money like this. Look at how bad these folks are with money. Look at how bad they are with everything. No wonder why America is gone to hell. It's not surprising when you stand back and take a close look and look at how they have gone out of their way to make sure we end up with nothing while they turn the money faucet on for everybody else. No, this is not acceptable. It's not. And it's not acceptable the way the American media have been lying about everything. And see, now you're also getting kicked in the butt over the cops because y'all been the big cheerleaders up in here for police. And now that incident in Uvalde is not no isolated incident. This is how your cops are in America. See, this is what happens when you let them get away with, I feared for my life. You let them get away with that. So now, when it came to rescuing children, look at what happened. Oh, they were afraid they were going to get hit with bullets. They were in fear of their life. Well, now it's at your backyard. Oh, so is it acceptable now? But y'all were all down with that. I feared for my life. You even let these cops get off in court using that. Oh, I feared for my life. And they get to walk out of the court and get away with killing a black man, woman, or child. But now, let's see if you're still backing the blue and cheering them on now. You got just what you deserve. But y'all, tell me what you think about this war that's going on and what the Ukrainians are admitting. And this is not just any Ukrainian official, these are the soldiers themselves that are saying they are completely outgunned by the Russians. Oh, let me show you something because I don't want you to think I'm making this up. Hold on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just showed you two different articles, and I saw a third article about the volunteers over there that are fighting are saying they feel abandoned. Okay, so all of this is out there. So, ladies and gentlemen, please tell me what you think about this news that's coming out that the Ukrainians are admitting they are outgunned by the Russians. And like I said, this could not have happened overnight. Okay. And at this point, I don't know, but you certainly can tell me in the comment section. I do know, but I just want your opinion. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. And y'all, the only ones that were right about this war was your new black media. Never forget that. Peace, family.